the only way that you can get from this to this is from training intensity. So in my last video, I went over the big three of lifting, and I kind of gave each of the big three, which was training, eating and sleeping. I gave them like a few of their own subcategories, and today we're gonna go deeper into like what is good training. So, the variable that we're talking about today is intensity, and there's multiple factors to training. There's volume. I'll try to see if I can write that better. There's volume. There's frequency. And there is intensity. Now, every single variable of training is very important. Don't think that you can neglect any one of these. But today we're going to go over intensity. So, what exactly is intensity? Intensity, it's really simple. It's just how hard or how much effort you are putting. It's basically like I said, how much effort you are putting. A way to look at it is that intensity is kind of like the multiplier of your results. So, for example, let's say we have someone named Billy. Let me draw Billy. I'm just going to spell that better. Billy. And his goal is to get in shape. So, new Billy, we're going to give him this. We're going to give him a chest. Yeah, that's good enough. Use some sunglasses. So Billy, let's become Billy 2.0. And obviously time is a non-negotiable factor. There's no way to really speed run anything. When I say, let me put it like this. You have to put in time. That's non-negotiable. But intensity, like I said, intensity is the multiplier. That speeds up your growth. When applied properly, of course. So if Billy, let me draw a timeline right here. If Billy did not train intensely here, it would take him a super long time. Let's say it will take him 20 years. Now, obviously, like, you have to get dedicated time, like I said, but 20 years is a very, very, very long time. And let's say maybe he wasn't as focused all the time. Maybe he wasn't applying himself fully, or at least not when he needed to. Let's say we drew another timeline where Billy was focused and he was putting in his hours in a proper intentional manner. Maybe it'll take him 10 years. Or if Billy really, really gets to work, maybe it'll take him 6 to 8. Who knows? The point that I'm trying to make is that intensity is a multiplier. And what determines your success and how fast you get it, it's not time. I think time is a very overrated variable when it comes to things because you can spend your time doing straight bullshit that it doesn't apply to what you're doing, that doesn't really make the most out of your effort because you're not being intentional. It's just time for time's sake. Like, there's this saying that in order to become a master, you gotta put 10,000 hours. I think that's kind of bullshit because there's no set number for anything. Everybody's different and everybody trains with their own intensity and their own intention. I wrote it down here. Intensity, intention. Like, these are like what matter most, not time. These are what matter most. Because time is an inevitable factor, but don't think that you have to spend 20 years or 10,000 hours just doing shit when really it could take 6 to 8. It's still a long time, but it's nowhere close to 20 years. And that's all really because of intensity and intention. If I had to make a definition for intensity, it would be intensity is the full application one's self in an intentional like that's how I would define it. And the thing you gotta understand is that you need intensity to train to grow the muscle. All right, muscle is struggle tissue, and you have to provide that struggle and challenge to create those micro tears that actually help the muscle grow. And the way that you would apply intensity to your workouts is very simple, honestly. It's quite literally just training to a failure. Now, for those who don't know what training to failure is, it is essentially where you train the muscle to the point where even when you want it to move, it won't move. Like, for example, if we take Billy and Billy's trying to do a bicep curl, say Billy puts the curl down, he goes down, and then now he tries to go curl back up. But Billy is his bicep is so exhausted that he literally cannot curl up. He cannot curl up, bro. That is essentially training to a failure. It's when you cannot perform the exercise anymore. And another thing too, it has to be involuntary. Meaning that you don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. On some David Goggins shit. But training to failure is literally how you would know how to know that you're applying that intensity to your workouts. You just keep going until you can't anymore. So it's a very simple application and probably the best application of how to how to apply that intensity so that you can make the most muscle gains as you can. And to be honest, I don't think beginners should only be trained until failure. All right, experienced people, they have their own techniques. They have their own ways to hit their intensity. Like they can get like 2 reps from failure and be fine and they won't fatigue themselves over the week. But beginners don't know what the fuck they're doing, so it doesn't. I'm not gonna bother you with that. All right, just focus on going until you can't anymore as a beginner. Um, and I remember I had a friend who told me one of his friends who was going to the gym for like 3 years and he made like no progress. And then like we were talking about it and we were just wondering like what the fuck was this guy doing for the last 3 years? Like it was his first 3 years, so it's like, what do you mean you weren't growing? Um, and we came to find out that he just wasn't training hard, or he wasn't training intensely at all. Like neither, like he just trained like a fucking pussy, to be honest. And he just wasted 3 years. 3 years of newbie gains, by the way. 3 years of newbie gains, bro. Like that's the best you can. Those are some of the best years of your lifting career. Talking about he didn't fucking grow. Like what the hell? That's terrible. But anyways, I just wanted to teach you guys about training intensity. Um, I'll go further into it. This is definitely not gonna be the last time you're gonna hear me talk about it. But for now, this is all I'm gonna give you. Hope you'll have a good one.